Hi everyone, I'm Cristiano. Welcome back to my channel, and this time in this video I'm going to show you my latest project is the CSS Battle. Actually, just a small project. It's because I want to show you guys the difference between like using CSS modules or Tailwind or style components to, style your component. And for that, I need to create a website, the same page, and show you guys the codes between them. I mean, the difference between using, I don't know, inline style and tailwind style component. So let's go. So if you click in this first button, it's going to load up my page, inline style. And for this page, I'm using inline style. I'm going to show you the code. So there's the header, the cards, the animation. Let me just update it. Yes. And there's the card, the footer right here. And if you click on the CSS modules, this is the same. Tailwind is the same. Style component and emotion is the same. So we have the same things, the same animations, size of the cards, stuff like that. It's pretty much the same, but the code is different. The way you write the code is different. And my opinion is, well, you should write the code where you are most comfortable because I'm used to style component, but I like 2 years ago I started to use Tailwind. 1 year ago, 1 year and a half, I started to use Tailwind and I never stopped. It's addictive. It's way better after you get used to it because you can read the code, the attributes for the style. It's very simple. I mean, it's great. I really enjoyed Tailwind. So right now, every project that I do, I use Tailwind. And as you can see, everything is the same. There's the animation for the some of my portfolio. So as you can see right here, these cards are my portfolio. So there's the button here, like for the demo. As if you click in the demo, it's going to uh, open the website, my project. So let's go. Let me show you guys the code. This is the project. Actually, the code is public for everybody to download and try. You can download it and you can change a few things. And I'm using React, TypeScript, and I start the project using Vite. So as you can see right here. And let's go. We have the Tailwind file here to, personalize if we need. But the first file is this one main, and then we have the app, and I'm routing. Actually, this, as you can see, there's like a CSS file here, and the CSS file is just a few things like the margin, padding, and the box sizing. So, and a few things like to improve text rendering, stuff like that. But all of the style is it's personalized using this inline style or CSS modules and so on so on. So let's go. Let me go back here, show you the first page. If I go inside the app router, I'm going to see the reactive router done. That because of the navigation, I think I'm used to use that, so it's easier for me. It's faster actually. So this is just a small project. It's not that big. It's very small actually. So the first one, Tailwind, my favorite. So I start with that, and as you can see right here, we get the style. We we write the code for the style inside of the class name. So after we install the Tailwind, npm install Tailwind and the other stuff, we have to import the Tailwind here, and then we can use the Tailwinds. And I'm using here like the flex, it's display flex, and flex column is flex direction column. Justify between is the justified content space between. As you can see, we abbreviate a lot of those things that we have to write, bunch of words, but actually, it's way faster if we do justify between because you're using Flexbox and stuff like that. So there is the item center, the gap. It's way faster for me at least because I already used to the words and it's faster to write the code. It's more productive. So there you go. If you see a class name and stuff like BG, white, or border, it's Tailwind. And I think this is easier. We can even do like the media query for, to get the size of the widget. It's different when you get to a mobile device or iPad or something like that. You have to get responsiveness, and you guys, at least me, I'm used to use media queries. So for the Tailwind is easy. Is just put the, let me search this SM for 640 pixels, large for 124 pixels, and there we have the XL also for 100 1280 pixels, so it's easier for us to do like that. I mean, it's easier for me at least. But if I want to use like animation or something more complex, I have to get into the file for the CSS and put it on there. In every project we have the CSS file right here. And I could put this there and use these classes, and it's you can do that using Tailwind. So it's very, very, I mean, I love it. It's a very good way to style your project. So let me close it all, and that's Tailwind. As you can see, we have put our style inside the class names. So let me show you the next one. This is the Tailwind version. Let me show you the inline style, the difference between Tailwind and inline style. Let me open inline style. This is the index. And as you can see, we start the same, but we have some difference inside the first file. I'm using use state and use effect to get the size of the widget, because inline I cannot get like query, the media query to get the size of the screen. So I have to use like use effect and some window, like add event listening to see if the size of the screen is getting bigger or smaller. And yeah, it's more complex, and I really don't like it. But as you can see right here, we can put all the style inline. So I'm going to, if I didn't have that, this is my div, like my content div. I put like style, as you can see here on the right. And actually, you need to open like curly bracket. I think that's how you say it. And you have to put your style here, like is display block or flex, is background color, you know, white. I mean, I think it's one more. That's white. So there we go. You have to style inline. That's the difference. And if I want to use, Tailwind, I should do like class name, stuff like that. It's not going to work because I'm not importing the file from Tailwind, this file right here. I'm not importing, so it's not going to work. But you get the idea, right? So this is inline style. So the style is inside of this style right here. Let me just go back to the original code. There we go. Let me close it. And now we're going to see the CSS modules. So what is the CSS modules, right? So CSS modules, the difference between the, inline style and the Tailwind is CSS modules is like the class from CSS, but just I cannot reuse this in other places. I have to import the file, as you guys can see over here. I have to import this file and use like this class name, style dot, and the name of the class. As you can see, it's very easy to do it. Just you have to create this file, mm, the name of your choice, and dot module dot css, and starting to write your code like like a class, like my new class for CSS, and then start writing the attributes for style like color. And the syntax is different because we usually do like this, right? But this is not going to work. You have to take out this, and now it's going to work. So as you can see right here, so it's different. Let me delete it. Oh, sorry. There we go. So as you can see, the syntax is different, but works the same. You're going to import inside the class name, and is only going to work inside of this file. If I want to use anywhere else, I have to import the file and use it. So there we go. It's not like a global CSS. It's very low. Its scope, the scope is locally. And I did like the footer and the header for each one of those. So everything that is going on, it's in the same way that I'm using, like it's the Tailwind. This is a component that I'm using Tailwind. And CSS modules, this the header is a component that I'm using CSS modules. So I'm trying to focus the style for each page, for everything inside the page to be the name of the page. Like if it is style components, it's going to be everything in style components. So let me show you guys style components. Let me close all. Let me close it all. So style components. So the difference here is actually we don't need a separate file for the components, but I did it anyway because I'm used to do it like that. I think it's more organized, maybe. So you have like the file here, that is the normal file, and we have the file which has all the styles. So as you can see, the styles.tss, TS. So it's like a TypeScript file, and how to use it? We have to import the style and then put the dot like this. So style dots, so I can use like a paragraph or a div or a h1 or anything like that. So in this case is the container here is a div. So I'm creating components. That's why style components. I'm creating components and giving the style the attributes. So the attributes for the style is inside of this, and in the file that I'm going to write the codes or the functions and the I don't know the writing stuff like that. I'm just going to import this component. So as you can see, it's way clean than inline or Tailwind. Let me show you the difference between this one and Tailwind for the same page. So it starts almost the same. Let me like this. So it starts almost the same. It's the same thing. This use effect is for the words for the some of my portfolio. And then as you can see, it's way shorter, like 74 lines. And here we have the same amount of lines, but the amount of words here is is way bigger. But so I mean, this div is in this case for the style components, it's a component. As you can see right here, it's a container, it's a div, but it's a component that I'm importing from this styles.ts TypeScript file. So it's complex, not that much. Each one of these are a component. So as you can see, it's it fits the React purpose of using components to scale your project. And it's exporting this const, this component, and I can use it anywhere. So it's very good when you have like a large project. And imagine you have this title right here, and you're going to use the same syntax for the style for 20 pages. And you don't need to write, oh, I'm so sorry, you don't need to write all of this 20 times. You just need to, import this, and it has all the attributes to style it. Understand the difference? I mean, you can do it in Tailwind, like create a const and put it here, but it has more writing. But the syntax, as you can see, flex direction column, and you have to type it all. Have its own syntax, but have to type it like display flex. And here in Tailwind, you just write flex, so or grid. So it's more faster for Tailwind. This takes more time to do it. It took me more time to do this, but it's more organized maybe. It depends on the developer. If you think it's easier to do it like this, do it like this. If you think it's easier to do all in Tailwind, use Tailwind. I'm just showing you guys the difference between them. And final one, emotion, is just like style components, almost the same thing. And I did differently. Let me just close it all. This is the page for emotion right here. I did different from style component because all of the components it's in the same file. You can do it the same thing for style component. I prefer to do it like separately because I have more. It's more organized. It's it's better for the developer to be more organized because you don't know the scale of the project. Since this project is a very low scale, it's a very small project. I can do it all just one file. But as you can see, the syntax is almost the same. Actually, it's the same, and I'm using like style and I put the div here and I'm importing this as a component. This is the remember this is the motion file and it is the same thing as style component. I mean, it has some difference, but you know the syntax, the way that you going to use it is almost the same. I know some people use it differently, the emotion, but it works the same if I do like this. So as you can see, there's ways and ways to style your own components. And I have shown you guys the inline, the CSS modules. You have the file that you have to import and it's going to work locally. And you have the tailwind that is going to be inside the class name. You have the style component, and most of the guys that use the style component has a different file and we can import as a component, and the emotion works the same as the style component. So that's it. This is the project. It's a very simple project. It's just a cards with my portfolio, some of my projects, and I just picked like I don't know 6, 7 projects. So doesn't have a lot of projects. So that's it. This is the CSS battle. Which one did you like the most? I prefer Tailwinds. It's it's way faster for me to write the code. I don't know. That's my opinion. That's my preference. So hit the like button, comment on the comment section just below the video, and subscribe it. Share with your friends if you like the video. Please share with the tech recruiters. This is my this is like a a project that I did like in one afternoon just to show you guys the difference between I have to study each one of those and I now I know the difference between them, but I'm still gonna use Tailwind. You have like this one people use a lot it. I don't think they use nowadays, but CSS with superpowers. But it's you know it's the same. The syntax is a little bit different, but as you can see is you have tons of ways to style your components, your style, your page, or your app application. So there we go. See you guys on the next video, and thanks a lot to be with me until the end of this video because I have to practice my English.